The new face of Europe: mass deportations in 2024. Across Europe, a wave of mass deportations is reshaping societies and sparking intense debate. From bustling cities to quiet villages, the continent grapples with the complexities of migration, identity, and belonging. This surge in deportations marks a turning point in Europe's approach to immigration, with far-reaching consequences for all involved. This essay will investigate the driving forces behind this trend, explore its multifaceted impacts, and examine potential solutions. Through real-world examples, expert insights, and statistical data, we'll navigate this complex issue with clarity and objectivity. By understanding the forces at play, we can better grasp the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead for Europe and its diverse population. A continent under pressure. What's driving mass deportations? Several factors have converged to create the perfect storm for mass deportations in Europe. The first is the rise of anti-immigration sentiment, fueled by economic anxieties, cultural anxieties, and political rhetoric. This sentiment has translated into stricter immigration policies, including expedited deportation processes and tighter border controls. Secondly, the ongoing economic uncertainty, exacerbated by global events, has intensified competition for jobs, housing, and public resources. This has led some to view migrants as competitors, further fueling the push for stricter immigration controls. Finally, the increasing complexity of international relations, with conflicts and crises displacing millions, has placed a strain on Europe's asylum systems, making it more challenging to distinguish between those seeking refuge and those deemed economic migrants. Torn apart. Social impacts of mass deportations. The social fabric of European societies is being tested by the wave of deportations. Families are torn apart as individuals are sent back to countries they barely remember, leaving behind children, spouses, and loved ones. This separation inflicts deep emotional wounds, creating a ripple effect of trauma and uncertainty that extends beyond those directly affected. Furthermore, mass deportations can fuel social tensions and erode trust between communities. The perception of unfair or discriminatory treatment can create resentment and division, hindering social cohesion and integration efforts. This, in turn, can create a climate of fear and suspicion, making it even more difficult for migrants to establish roots and contribute positively to their communities. Empty factories, strained budgets, the economic fallout. Beyond the human toll, mass deportations carry significant economic implications. While proponents argue that deportations ease pressure on public services and create job opportunities for citizens, the reality is more nuanced. In sectors like agriculture, construction, and hospitality, where migrants often fill essential roles, deportations can lead to labor shortages and economic disruption. Moreover, the cost of processing, detaining, and transporting individuals back to their countries of origin can strain national budgets. These resources could be redirected towards education, healthcare, or job creation programs, ultimately benefiting both migrant and native-born populations. The economic impact of mass deportations is a complex issue with both potential downsides and unforeseen consequences. Section 5. A political earthquake: how deportations are reshaping Europe's landscape. The political landscape of Europe is undergoing a seismic shift as mass deportations become a defining issue. Right-wing and nationalist parties capitalizing on public anxieties have gained traction by promising stricter immigration controls and swift deportations. This has pushed the issue of immigration to the forefront of political discourse, often overshadowing other pressing concerns like climate change, economic inequality, and healthcare. The rise of anti-immigration sentiment has also forced mainstream parties to reassess their stances on immigration, often leading to a hardening of policies in an attempt to appease voters. This shift to the right has profound implications for the future of European politics, potentially leading to a more fragmented and polarized political landscape. Section 6. Stories from the front lines: deportation in action. To truly grasp the impact of mass deportations, it's essential to look beyond statistics and delve into real-life stories. In Germany, a young Afghan man who arrived as an unaccompanied minor faces deportation back to a country ravaged by conflict, despite having integrated into German society and speaking fluent German. In France, a Senegalese woman who has lived and worked in the country for over a decade faces separation from her French husband and children as she awaits deportation after a minor bureaucratic error. These stories, repeated across the continent, highlight the human cost of mass deportations, showcasing the devastating consequences for individuals, families, and communities. By amplifying these voices, we can foster greater empathy and understanding, encouraging a more humane and compassionate approach to migration policy. Section 7. The Experts Weigh In, Analyzing the Deportation Surge. Experts from various fields offer valuable insights into the complex dynamics of mass deportations. Dr. Elena Sanchez, a sociologist specializing in migration studies, argues that mass deportations are a short-sighted solution to a complex issue, often creating more problems than they solve. She emphasizes the social and economic costs of uprooting individuals and disrupting communities, advocating for a more holistic approach that addresses the root causes of migration. Economist Professor Martin Bauer cautions against the potential economic fallout of mass deportations, pointing to the vital role migrants play in various sectors. He emphasizes the need for evidence-based policies that consider the long-term economic implications of removing individuals from the workforce. Their analyses underscore the importance of a nuanced and informed approach to migration policy, one that considers both the human and economic dimensions of this complex issue. Section 8. A double-edged sword, examining the pros and cons of mass deportations. The issue of mass deportations is far from black and white, with valid arguments on both sides of the debate. Proponents argue that deportations are necessary to safeguard national security, preserve cultural identity, and ensure the rule of law. They emphasize the importance of controlled immigration, arguing that deportations deter illegal immigration and protect the welfare of citizens. Conversely, critics argue that mass deportations are inhumane, ineffective, and economically counterproductive. They highlight the human cost of uprooting individuals, separating families, and sending people back to potentially dangerous situations. They also question the economic logic of removing individuals who contribute to the workforce and pay taxes. Section 9. The Bottom Line, Key Takeaways from Europe's Deportation Crisis. Navigating the complex landscape of mass deportations requires a balanced understanding of the key takeaways. Firstly, the issue is deeply intertwined with social, economic, and political factors, making it challenging to isolate and address in a vacuum. Secondly, while deportations might offer a temporary sense of control, they often fail to address the root causes of migration, potentially leading to unintended consequences. Thirdly, the human cost of deportations cannot be ignored. Uprooting individuals, separating families, and sending people back to potentially dangerous situations raises serious ethical concerns. Lastly, a nuanced and evidence-based approach to migration policy is crucial, one that considers both the human and economic dimensions of this complex issue. Section 10. Looking ahead. What's next for Europe and its migrants? The future of Europe and its migrants hangs in the balance as the continent grapples with the challenges of mass deportations. The path forward requires a shift from reactive policies to proactive solutions that address the root causes of migration, such as poverty, conflict, and climate change. Investing in sustainable development, promoting peace-building efforts, and tackling climate change are crucial steps toward creating a world where migration is a choice, not a necessity. Within Europe, fostering social cohesion and promoting integration are paramount. This includes providing language and job training, facilitating access to education and healthcare, and combating discrimination. By creating a more inclusive and welcoming environment, Europe can harness the potential of its diverse population, building a stronger and more resilient society for all. Section 11. A Call to Action. Finding humane and sustainable solutions. The issue of mass deportations demands our attention and compels us to action. We must move beyond fear and division, embracing empathy and understanding, engaging in informed dialogue, supporting organizations working on the front lines, and advocating for humane and sustainable solutions are crucial steps towards creating a more just and equitable world. The future of Europe, and indeed the world, depends on our collective commitment to finding solutions that uphold the dignity and rights of all individuals, regardless of their origin or immigration status. By working together, we can build a future where migration is a source of strength and opportunity, not fear and division.